Today was a day. Still finished a couple lines, but today was a day. What's up, everyone? Today I want to share with you my top, I don't know, 8 way too early tips for authors. And I say way too early because I haven't really published anything yet, but it's coming, I promise.
Joy. She wanna see the Forbes like I wanna see her form. Tell me what you for, yeah. Hey, you pay me what I'm owed, yeah.
All right, so my first tip is to just simply, all right, so my top 8, I don't know, we'll see how far it goes, for authors or inspiring writers out there, is to write. It doesn't matter whatever it is, just write what you love, what you're passionate about, because that's gonna come the easiest for you, right? Don't feel like you have to write like anybody else. Write what you love. Number 2, experiment. I've always wanted to be a children's book writer, but I've always experimented just writing. So I would write short stories. I would write just random poems. I would try to write chapters in books. As a teacher, I would write opinion pieces or nonfiction pieces because I was in class, and those things actually allowed me to practice my writing technique. So if you are a writer out there, feel free to experiment as much as possible with different writing genre. It's only gonna make your writing better, truly. It's only gonna make your writing better. Can't count at all. I really can't count. Number 3, don't be afraid of failing. And you know what? That's one of those things that I find just a good life tip in general. Like, you have to, at some point, fail to understand what you can do better. It's just, I think it's just a natural process of life. So as a writer, it's the exact same thing. And I'm not just saying this in regards to like publishing or trying to find an agent. Like, feel free to fail in writing. And that's something also I would love for kids to be able to explore more freely as well. If you're a parent or an educator out there, let's explore the idea more with kids of failure. Help them understand how the failing process can ultimately help them reach their ultimate goal. I said ultimate a lot of times there, and I apologize. I think we're on number 5. I can't remember. The next tip is, and I truly do believe this, I think writers have to read. I think readers have to write, I think. But if you want to be a writer, I think you should read mentor texts that you are interested in. If you want to be a picture book writer, you should read lots of picture books. If you want to be a middle school writer, you should read lots of middle grade. I think even if you don't want to be a specific writer in a specific genre, you can still pull ideas from different authors. I love to read YA novels. Do I think I'll ever write a YA novel? I don't know. But I do find that I'm looking at, as I'm becoming more and more of a writer, I'm looking more into like the craft and the structure of how they're writing it, and not necessarily the story. And that's just something I think is just really cool to see how other writers do it. I think it's just awesome. Next tip is you need to find a buddy or someone to give you feedback on your writing outside of your mom or dad. Like right now, I am lucky enough to have an agent who's an agent and an editor, which is helpful. But I also have my wife, and you know what? I probably wouldn't say this for everybody, but my wife is an educator and she can lay it on me, right? And she's very open and honest about the work that I do, so I do value her feedback very much. Sometimes your partner may not be that person, and that's okay, but you do want to find someone that's going to be able to give you some valuable feedback on your work, critical feedback as well. This is also for students and kids. Like, you want to help them understand that having a buddy or a friend that can critique their work in a positive way is important, right? It's important. That's how you get better at everything that you do. The next tip is, I got this from Elizabeth Acevedo, and she said that she likes to draft fast and revise slow. Personally, I'm not a big grammar person at all. When I write this middle grade novel that I'm trying to create, it's gonna have so many grammar errors, punctuation errors, spelling errors, everything you can possibly think of. But I hope that they just enjoy the voice and the story in there. That's what you have editors for. That's what you have buddies for, right? When you are first thinking of a story, don't get so hung up on grammar. Like, I'm not a grammar person at all. I know there's a lot of people out there that love grammar, but when you're writing, draft fast, get your ideas out, worry about the grammar and the punctuation later. Unless you're a grammar person and it just comes naturally to you, then. Lastly, And probably most importantly, be yourself. My first story is about me. Literally, every aspect of me, every moment, every idea, every phrase is me through and through. And I think when you are being authentic and being honest about the work that you are doing, that is when people notice you. That is when people see that you truly have put your heart in this, and that's when they ultimately will give you a chance. Be yourself. No idea how many tips I just gave you. And again, these are way too soon tips from an author who isn't published. So take them all with a grain of salt. Thank you for watching. Peace.